I'd like to call to order the City of Douglasville's regular voting meeting for today, which is Monday, June the 18th. And we will have our invocation that will be done by Reverend Brett DeHart, Senior Pastor of the Douglasville First United Methodist Church. And after that, our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel. Please stand for the invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, thank you on behalf of all of us who have gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. You have blessed our city with an abundance of resources, most notably our people. I pray for our mayor, our council members, our city staff. I ask that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people, a keen thirst for justice and rightness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, personal peace in their lives, and joy in their task. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Douglasville. It is in your most blessed name I pray. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem and Reverend DeHart. We appreciate you praying, and we had such a good time with Ambassador Andrew Young at your church this past spring. It was really a blessing that you brought him to the community. So we'll move on. We'll do announcements and presentations, and before I get into that, I'd just like to read the protocol for the meeting and how things will go this evening so there won't be any misunderstandings. I would like to welcome you to the City of Douglasville's regular voting meeting. This is a City Council regular meeting of agenda items which were official action will be taken tonight. Items were discussed at the work session this past Thursday. If the business you are here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates section for you to discuss your business. There are a few items I'd like to go over so that we'll all be on the same page. I ask that you would keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You will receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. A second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the chambers and premises for the evening. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to the speakers or talk to the audience. I'll remind you that we're only required to accept public comments on zoning matters, but of course we will listen to you during comments from citizens and delegates. If you have a cell phone or any electronic device, we ask that you would please put those in silent mode or turn those off until after the meeting so they will not be disruptive. Now we'll talk about the agenda items and how things will be handled there. The protocol for that is the committee chairperson will read the agenda item. Then the person representing the agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation, and that will be the opportunity for you to give us that information, disseminate it for us to make our decision. Then myself and council members will probably ask questions for clarification, seeking any additional information. After that, committee chair will ask for comments or statements from the audience. There's a maximum of 30 minutes for those to speak in favor and 30 minutes in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes. Prior to approaching the podium, please give us your card to the city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, or the deputy clerk, Ms. Heather Korn, at the podium. State your name and address for the record. State whether you're in favor or against the item. Each person has one opportunity to bring the agenda item forward. No reappearances. We don't allow reappearances at this time. This meeting is not a question and answer format. It is not a debate format. So you'll have an opportunity, of course, to make your public comment during comments of citizens and delegates if you're not here to talk about an agenda item, but we're not here to debate or do questions and answers. Please address your comments to the chair, not to the members of the audience or to the applicant or city staff. If your information is repetitive, we'll ask that you would not do that. Will have received it one time. Our policy requires that printed information be used to review or submitted to the city clerk in advance. Any packets you may have, and someone did let us see their cell phone last week, but we ask that you would just give that information to the city clerk. So those are the rules and the protocol for the meeting. And we'll go on to announcements and presentations. I have an adoption of a resolution in memory and honor of Mr. Joe Henry Dones, a longtime resident of the city of Douglasville. And this resolution is attached to our tablets, and I'll read it. It says, whereas Joe Henry Dones left behind a wonderful legacy of hard work, wisdom, and honor. He taught everyone who knew him to love God, respect others, and to always maintain an utmost integrity. Mr. Joe was a true family man, a successful business owner, a pillar in both the community and in his church. He was a trailblazer that paved the way for many individuals in public arena and always stood tall in the face of injustice. Joe began his career with Tidwell Construction Company, located in Douglasville, Georgia. And in 1962, he ventured off and became his own construction business owner, Dones Construction. Many of the sidewalks and driveways that can be found throughout the city were paved under his tutelage. Whereas Joe Henry Dones was a man of many firsts, he was the first African American to sit on a hospital board, the bailiff at the county courthouse, and in 1968, he was the first African American to run for the Douglasville City Council. Finally, he was a committee member that led the way in spearheading and financing the construction of the Dallas Highway Golden Memorial United Methodist Church. Now, therefore, it is resolved by the mayor and the council, the city of Douglasville, that all of our citizens in the city and city government officials and city employees are encouraged to do everything possible to ensure that his great memory and this great leader is recognized and celebrated in this incredible life that he lived. And so I know we have family members here to represent Mr. Dones, and so I'll open the floor to accept.
Madam Mayor, before I make a motion, I've got plenty whippings at that house.
You did? It must have paid off, Councilman.
Yeah, Mr. Leela Doan used to get us. But I think it's an honor and a privilege, and I'd like to make a motion that we adopt a resolution in the memory and honor of Mr. Joe Henry Doan, longtime resident of the city of Douglasville.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved in second. Did you push your button, Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mr. Adams, you know about him too, huh? You've been here? So it's been properly moved in second to adopt a resolution in the memory and honor of Mr. Joe Henry Dones, a longtime resident of the city of Douglasville. All of those in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Is there any other discussion as it relates to this item? Thank you. It's unanimously approved. So we have adopted a resolution in the memory of Mr. Joe Henry Dones. He has some preachers in the family too, that daughter. So it's a blessing. All right. Come on forward, please, and just give us some comments. I know you may want to wait till the end of the meeting, but since we're doing it now, we have to sign the resolution. Come on forward, Bishop, and give us your name and address for the record, please. You're welcome.
My name is Pastor Karen Dones, and it is an honor to stand here to say thank you for honoring my grandfather, my late grandfather. He did so much for all of us. His daughter is here, Miss Carlene Dones, the last daughter that he has, and some of the family members, and I tell you, he has left a great legacy. So what we want to do is continue that. So we say thank you so very much for this honor.
Well, you're welcome. So there are a couple of council members that are out of town, and so we'll pass the resolution and we'll talk with them to see if they'd like to sign as well. But council members, do you mind taking a picture with the family since family members are here? Please come around, take pictures. Family members, please come up at this time so that we can take a picture with you and have this as a memory in the city's website. This is for the city, the other one was for the family. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, Mr. Doan's family and audience. We appreciate you indulging us, letting us have that time to honor one of our great citizens in the city of Douglasville. Now I have the minutes of the legislative work session and executive session of May 31st, 2018, and the regular meeting of June 4th, 2018. I open the floor for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. We have a motion. Is there a second? Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve the minutes of the May 31st meeting and the June 4th meeting of 2018. Is there any further discussion as it relates to the minutes or any corrections? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. I have a motion. Is there a second? Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Any further discussion? Thank you all. It's been approved, and then we'll move on after the consent agenda to Public Safety Committee, and that's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor, I have items 20-18-26, request for a change in agent outlet manager and transfer of the alcoholic beverage license for the on-premises sale and consumption of wine and malt beverages at the following establishment. Current licensee, Jennifer Gunningab, DBA Tokyo Express of Lithia Springs, LLC. Proposed license, the Culinary Bear, LLC, DBA Tokyo Express. Location, 639 Thornton Road, Suite 101. Current agent outlet manager is Jennifer Gunningab. Proposed agent outlet manager is Rotate Keo. The required fees have been paid into the finance department. Do any of our council members have any questions before I make a motion? We good? Madam Mayor, I make a motion that 20-18-26 be approved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-18-26. Is there any further discussion as it relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-18-26 is approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Yeah, item B, 20-18-27, request for a change in agent outlet manager for the alcoholic beverages license for the sale and consumption of wine and malt beverage and spirits liquor in the following establishment. Licensee O'Charlie's LLC, DBA O'Charlie's, number 291, location 9320, The Landing Drive. Current agent outlet manager Kevin Music, proposed agent outlet manager Patrick Settabrino. The required fees has been paid into the finance department. Do any of the council have any questions before I make a motion? Okay, Madam Mayor, I make a motion we approve 20-18-27.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-18-27. Is there any further discussion? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-18-27 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, my next item C, 20-18-29, request for the alcoholic beverage license for the retail package sale of wine and malt beverage and spiritual liquor at the following establishment. Licenses, O.M. Shivi and Nashi LLC, DBA Case Ring Package, location 913 Dallas Highway, proposed agent outlet manager Arpakanta Patel. The required fees have been paid into the finance department. Do I have any?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to clarify, that's item 20-18-28. You read
Okay.
29.
I said 29?
You going on?
Sorry about that.
That's
Ooh,
okay.
Must got excited. Okay.
I know.
It is exciting.
Any
Mr.
questions
Chairman?
from the council?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say that the 2.5 years that I've been on this council, the first time we've heard and voted on a lot of these, and last week was the first time that anybody's ever come forward and spoke in opposition to a package store opening up in their close to where they live. And Mr. Featherstone pointed out a lot of things and reasons why he felt the way he did. I would have loved to have heard from more of the community about that, but I'd just like to point out that what he had to say was important, and I wish he was here tonight. Oh, he is here tonight. Okay.
Okay. It's up to you, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Mayor, we give opportunity to speak before I make a motion. Go ahead, come on.
First, opening the floor for any comments.
For comments.
Give us your name and address for the record, please.
Okay, first of all, I want to say hello, Council and Madam Mayor, and thank you for this opportunity again for me to represent my community, the North Side. I did speak in reference to our neighborhood. I attended a meeting last Thursday, in reference to Community and Economic Development Committee. And they were voicing, and they gave us a synopsis or a example of what they would propose for that area. But listening to that proposal, I actually heard some disturbing things in reference to poverty in the area being 4 times more, economically strained than the rest of the south, east, and west of Douglasville. And that concerned me very much. Also in that area, too, we have a high crime rate. So if you have a high crime rate, low education, poverty, things of that nature, it's just going to bring problems. So adding alcohol is like adding fuel to the fire. And we don't need that in our community. We already have enough problems as it is. We have kids in the area that need help. They need guidance. We also have adults that need help and guidance. And also, I guess I can attest to this as well, as far as the police. To me, they're not staffed enough. They don't have enough backing. And to add that to that, area, that's just going to put more strain on the police department, on the sheriff's department. And it's a shame we bringing this up, but this is the Public Safety Committee. And this should be a public safety concern, okay, for all of us. And this is a small thing, but I'm gonna give you a little bit about, my background. I went to school. Not only that, I served in the military. I'm a veteran. 3rd Bat, 75th Ranger Regiment, Fort Benning, Georgia, Special Forces, that's me. So I signed up for that, and we all talk about freedoms and things of that nature. Well, I volunteered for that, for everyone in here to have freedom and quality of life. So we're not just here just for one section. We're here for all. And we want all of Douglasville. All it doesn't have an I in it. Us doesn't have an I in it. We doesn't have an I in it. And I'm here to, like I said, lead the way. And that's what I was accustomed to, and that's what I'm here to do now. I have the means to move easily. I could have left a long time ago. But I feel like I'll be leaving people behind if I didn't come out and fight for those people that live in that area and to try to bring that area up. When they say Douglasville, they say Douglasville. If something happens on the north side, it's categorized in the whole entire Douglasville, not just one section. It actually covers all of us. So if I can fight for your freedoms and fight for your quality of life, I hope you can fight for mine. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Featherstone. Any other comments as it relates to this item before the chairman makes his recommendation? Yes, sir, Mr. Miller, Councilman Miller. Yeah, council members, we can, yes.
Council,
Yes, sir. Help yourself.
usually these things are more fluid than this. I appreciate Mr. Featherstone's some comments. I'm also a big free use of property kind of person. But if they had it for the first year, what kind of renewal? I'm not familiar with the renewal process.
The renewal is automatic unless they fail to pay or unless we take action to revoke it based on some violation of the law.
So if in fact it is granted, then we could kind of keep track with Mr. Featherstone's concerns and then take action to solve those issues. Is that correct?
You'd be looking for a violation of law by the licensee rather than conditions in the community in order to revoke.
Sir, and I think that really connects with Mr. Miller when we ask applicants about when they're in restaurants, their procedures and how they check for ID, and then we ask the police department, have there been any violations or concerns at that site? So if we know, if it's his desire to send this item forward, then we can flag it and, of course, look at it 12 months from now to see if there have been some issues with the police department. Oh, city.
No, ma'am, the renewal will be automatic unless the licensee chooses not to review or unless we bring you some violation of law by the licensee. Simple conditions in the community are not going to be sufficient to divest this license if you grant it.
But if there are some public safety concerns that have happened, then if we're looking for those, is what?
No, ma'am, not unless the licensee has violated the law.
Mr. Chairman, I believe we've had an instance within our community in times past where there were some violations by a licensee, and then it was incumbent upon us then to take action against that licensee to revoke a license, but to automatically or to play watchdog, for lack of a better word, unless there is a breaking of the law, I don't think would be proper for us to police any location one over the other any more strongly. I don't think that would be proper for us to do either. Would I be correct, Ms. Littlefield?
Yes, sir. You need to have equal application of the law. The bases on which we've used to revoke licenses before were often sales to minors, but occasionally it's been other things.
Thank you.
Okay,
Not for high arrest or anything. If there have been, fights or any disturbance of the peace or loitering or anything like that.
Not unless they were the fault of the licensee.
So if citizens called about those issues and there was a record or just a log, then that's not a concern?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you. Just trying to
Well,
get
if no
myself
other
clear.
comments, I'd like to make a motion, we approve 20-18-28.
Thank you. I have
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-18-28. I know we've had some great discussion. Is there any other comments to be made by council members? Okay, no more. So it's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-18-28. All those in favor, would you please raise your hand in approving this item? Thank you. Those opposed, raise your hand. Thank you. The favor has it, so item 20-18-28 is approved.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Okay, next item. Item D, 20-18-29, adopt a resolution directing the city clerk to call for a special election referendum on November the 6th, 2018, for the consideration to authorize the city of Douglasville governing body to enact an ordinance allowing the sale of alcohol beverages by the drink starting at 11 o'clock a.m. on Sundays. Madam Mayor, I'm going to put that to a motion to approve 20-18-29.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-18-29, which is putting this brunch bill item to the public or for special election on November 6th so
Yes,
that they can
ma'am.
make a decision whether or not they want to bring this item to the city of Douglasville. So we aren't approving anything or denying, we're just approving to put this resolution on to the vote, referendum for a vote on November 6th. Just want to clear that up. There was some little bit confusion about that. So yes, I'll open it up for any other discussion.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to make sure it's clear to the citizens who are present and watching online. This would go before the voters in November to decide whether or not the restaurants, basically it's restaurants, it's on-premise consumption served by the drink, does not involve any of the retail package sales, whether it's convenience stores, supermarkets, package stores, et cetera, only for on-premise sales. Currently, those sales can start at 12:30 on Sundays. If this gets approved by the council right now, then the voters in November will be able to vote to lower that starting time on Sundays only to 11 a.m. It would be legal then for restaurants to start serving at 11 if they choose. It does not require them to. So just want to make sure that was clear.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Any other
Anyone?
discussion as it relates to this? Chairman, you can
Ma-
direct your committee.
Council Miller?
Madam Mayor, I just wanted to, sometimes these issues get very controversial and mean a whole lot to one group and a whole lot to the other group, and it puts the city council or county commission in the middle of it. And I really appreciate our legislature for passing a law that allows us to allow our citizens to make this determination. So thank you to the Georgia State Legislature for seeing a need for it, recognizing it, but then taking the needs of the community into consideration when we consider approving this.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to make the comment, I personally do not see the need for it, but then again, I feel it necessary to allow the voters to decide that. I can make my own voice known in the ballot box when I vote for it or against it. I will go back to about 6 years ago when I first came on the council. We had the issue of extending hours in the restaurants. I don't personally see that has been a huge advantage to the restaurants. I don't drink alcohol, therefore it's not of importance to me, except to I would go along with the coach and some of the comments I'd heard him make in the last few days about when is enough. And so I would assume that the next thing, Mr. Siegel, that you've explained and brought up to us would be then that possibly the retail package folks would potentially want to come in and start selling at 10 o'clock or at 11 o'clock or whatever, or at least have the opportunity to vote on that. So I'll just go back to that question of when is enough. Thank you. That's all I had.
Anyone else?
I'd also like to add, the last time anything was put before the voters in this city related to alcohol was back in 2012, so that was 6 years. That related to retail package sales on Sunday. Voters in the city of Douglasville actually approved on-premise sales on Sunday back in the 90s. So we're talking 20 years since Sunday sales in restaurants have even come before the voters. So it's not like this is something that's happening every year. So just want to make that clear.
Okay. Madam Mayor, we good?
No,
Okay.
sir. The democracy.
I
Councilman
made the
Siegel?
motion.
Councilman Siegel, you have?
Fine.
I'm Siegel, Watts, I'm looking at.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
I know,
since,
I can see it on your face. That's why.
I agree with everything that everybody up here has said, and including Mr. Siegel's point about conjecture on some of the things that have been expressed up here. But we all know in this room that conjecture is reality, that it happened over time. When I first moved to Douglasville, things have changed a lot. I understand that. We're grown up. There's lots of issues that we decide as a council. Very few issues. That's why the people elected us and to make decisions. But I do agree. I've been conflicted. Been thinking about this all weekend long. But just like I heard another council member say on another issue that we voted on in weeks past, sometimes you just got to go with your gut and how you feel about something. So anyway, that's all I've got to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Spirited conversation. And we have a motion and a second to approve item 20-18-29. And we've had discussion about this item. So all of those in favor of approving this item will have hands again so that we'll make sure that the city clerk.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Opposed? Thank you so much. Item 20-18-29 by majority is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We'll leave it up to the voters. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We move on to Community and Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Richard Siegel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, sir. We move on to item 9, Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have several items tonight under Planning and Development. First item, 22-18-52. We'll hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from R2 Single Family Detached Residential District to R2 with a special land use permit for family daycare home 1 to 6 for 1.3 plus or minus acres located at 7037 Stone Creek Drive, land lot 708, District 1, Section 3, and Parcel 38. Application by Centria Durant. Good evening, Ms. Durant. How are you?
How are you?
Let me just make sure that we understand. I believe Madam Mayor's already spoke to us about the rules. If not, I'll just go over those. This being a public hearing, and I'll only say this once because we do have a couple of these tonight. Each side would have 30 minutes, is that correct? 5 minutes per person, for or against. And we will start with Ms. Durant. Ma'am, if you have any additional information or things that you think the council needs to know, please bring them forth to us at this time.
I did go up to the fire marshal department today, and I'm able to keep 6 children. So that was kind of an issue last time, like determining how many I can have.
That was a question, yes, ma'am, that someone may have had concerning this. Okay, any other information?
So that's it.
Okay, I'll ask the question. I want to make sure that we all understand that if we approve this, we would approve this initially for a period set by our council. Is that correct? Ms. Littlefield, it will be 1 year initially, and then it will be up for renewal, correct?
It will be whatever you stipulate as a special condition, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Normally on a special land use permit, we start out with a year, and then depending upon how things are continued, if there are no problems, then when we renew it, we may renew it indefinitely. But we normally start out with a year. I think one thing that we need to make clear is that when we take action on this, if we approve it, then basically we're approving the right of this applicant to use the property for that use, but they still would be contingent upon them being approved by the state. And I don't recall what Ms. Burdanley mentioned as far as what department or state department that was that they had to be approved by. I don't recall.
Right from the start.
There it is, okay. So this would just be our control over it as far as a special land use permit. She would still have to be approved by the state to operate that business, okay? Any question or comment of Ms. Durant by the council?
Mr. Chairman, I just was curious. Do you already have the 6 lined up, or you're just open for business and whoever comes to you first, or?
I do not have them lined up.
Okay.
I'm getting zoning approved, and then I have to go through right from the start. I'm
Okay.
able to keep 2 while waiting on the license from right from the start, but they won't do anything unless I have zoning's approval,
Okay.
so.
All right.
Any other questions that council may have?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I was just going to ask Mr. Rand, you said you had gone to the fire department today,
Yes.
and they said that 6, that you could have a daycare with 6
Yes.
occupants. Do you have any documentation, or is?
No, he just told me that. He didn't give me anything I guess I didn't need it. I don't know, but no, he didn't give me any documentation.
I would assume, Madam Mayor, just to clarify, that that's probably going to be a requirement that the county fire marshal would place on her in order to receive a, for lack of a better term, a certificate of occupancy for that use. Our special land use permit will give her the right to do that if she is approved by all of the other governing bodies. Am I correct, Ms. Littlefield?
Yes, sir. She'll have to comply with all the laws that apply to her.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, is there anyone else here that would speak in this public hearing in favor of this special land use permit application? Not seeing any, is there anyone here that would speak in opposition to the same item? Okay, I will close the public hearing then. And I will, at this time, item 22-18-52, I'll make a motion to approve for a period of 1 year.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-18-52 with a special land use permit for a time frame of 1 year. Is there any further discussion as it relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 22-18-52 is approved.
Thank you,
1
Ms.
year.
Durant. Appreciate you coming in. Good luck to you. Next item, 22-18-53, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from CG General Commercial District to CG General Commercial District with a special land use permit for automotive sales and service, new and used, for .94 plus or minus acres located at 6150 Stewart Parkway, land lot 130, District 2, Section 5, Parcel 107. Application by Chris Davis. Is Mr. Davis here tonight? Okay, this is, as I said, we held a public hearing on Thursday night. This is the second of the 2. He has answered questions of us. This is actually a renewal application. Is there anyone here that would speak in favor of the application? If not, is there anyone here that would speak in opposition to the application? Is there any comment by council? Madam Mayor, anyone? Okay, I'm going to make a motion on item 22-18-53 to approve it, and we would not require that the applicant come in again so long as they are the tenant there on premises. We've had no problems with that special land use permit. I would say that this would not then have a 1-year term. It would run concurrent with his lease. I make that motion. I don't have the opportunity to do it online here, but I do make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-18-53 for a special land use permit for automotive sales and services on Stewart Parkway with the special land use in compliance with the same time as the rental agreement for that tenant. So any other discussion, any other comments as it relates to this item?
I did not understand the chairman's motion to be concurrent with the lease.
Run concurrent with their lease. He is a tenant.
I understand, but we can't do that because it won't show on the face of the ordinance.
Okay, then I would
If
say
you can name the time when it will expire if you know what that is.
We don't
I'm
know.
sorry. I misunderstood. I know that, or I understood that we had done that in the past. Then I would say that there would not need to be a limit on that special land use permit then. I'm sorry. I will adjust my motion Make a motion to approve item 22-18-53 with no renewal required.
Thank you. Thank you. We've amended the special land use permit with a time frame or to run concurrent with the person's lease. And so is there any further discussion as relates to this item? And I will say, Mr. Chairman, we have done this in the past, but we did have a term for the lease when it expired for the tenant. And that's what
correct.
city manager,
I
assistant city attorney was talking
Thank you,
about.
Ms. Littlefield.
Yes. Any other comments as it relates to this item? Thank you. All those in favor of approving item 22-18-53, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Item 22-18-53 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Item C, 22-18-54, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from CG General Commercial District to CG General Commercial District with a special land use permit for a church or place of worship for 1.05 acres located at 5727 Palazzo Way in land lot 906, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 4, application by AJB LLC. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Very good.
Appreciate you coming back tonight. Would you give us your name and address for the record, please?
I'm Bruce Holbert. I'm representing AJB, and addresses, I've got AJB's address down there, but mine is...
You can use the location address if you'd like. If you don't want to give your personal, that's fine.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm just drawing a blank right now.
Do you need help with the address?
5727
Paul,
is
what's my
the plaza.
It's I live in Ackworth, Georgia, at Brookstone Overlook Northwest. Is that
That's
close
fine.
enough?
That's fine, yes, sir. Is there any new information you would have for us?
No, it's nothing new.
Okay.
We're just wanting the special use permit.
Okay. Is there anyone else here that would speak in favor of this application? Anyone that would speak in opposition to the application? Any questions of council for this gentleman? Okay. I'll make a motion then, item 22-18-54 to approve for a period of 1 year, since this is the first and initial special land use permit for this location, correct?
That is, as far as I know, it is, yes.
Okay. Make that motion.
Thank you. I have a motion. Is there a second to approve?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-18-54 with a special land use permit for a place of worship for a time period of 1 year. Is there any additional comments as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
I
The
got
ayes
one
have it.
question.
Item 22-18-54 is approved.
Will we get a notice when that 1 year's up to come back here again?
Yes, you will. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much again.
You. Wish you
Mayor,
the best, sir.
council people, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holbert.
Last item, item D, 22-18-55, hold a public hearing and consider a request for change in zoning from OD Office Distribution District to CG General Commercial District for 2.58 acres plus or minus, located on McPherson Road in land lot 423, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 2, application by Atlantes LLC. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. I am fine. How about you guys?
Name and address for the record?
Jay Patel. I'm 858 Pine Cove Drive, Lilburn, Georgia, 30047.
Thank you for being here, sir. Do you have any new information to provide us with as the applicant for this?
No, sir. Actually, there was one question last time, and if there is same concern still exist, I have some options I can share with you guys, but if still there is a
That
concern.
question that was raised had to do with access to McPherson Road by the public.
Yes, we'll address that in our motion.
So he says he's got options.
Okay. Go ahead and share with us your option then.
Sure, sir. Sir, I do not have any plan or anything which can hinder any of the traffic, public traffic. I'm trying to full cooperate. There is existing, as I mentioned last time, there is existing agreement between different tenants around. So we are need to go ahead and comply with that as well. In addition to that, I'm providing city right to purchase that piece of land in future anytime you guys need. I do not have any problem with that either. So again, I'm trying to be open to anything which can work for the city in future.
So then you would not have a problem with with potential approval on our part if it required that you maintain public access for through traffic.
That's correct, sir.
You would not have a problem with that.
That's correct, sir. So I can provide in a way that right to purchase that might can provide you option to purchase if city want to choose that.
You can provide us with you can provide the city with an option to purchase?
That's correct. So that might be any
portion of
time.
McPherson
I could
Road.
not have any right to block it if city want to keep that.
Okay.
Yes,
Mr. Miller?
Mr. Dodson, you had maybe suggested looking at the deed to see if there was some stipulations.
I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but I suspect there's probably a cross easement down there. Most of the time, you put a parcel development like that, there'll be a cross easement for the rest of it.
Okay.
Okay. Other comments? Is there anyone else here that would speak in support of this item? If not, anyone might be here that would want to speak in opposition to the item. Okay, I'll close the public hearing. No other comment from council? Okay, on item 2218-55, I'll make a motion to approve, and that would be with the stipulation that there is continued public access for through traffic being allowed and on the lot after development. In other words, we would require that that access for through traffic continue across the lot after development.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 22-18-55 with the stipulations as mentioned by the Chair of Planning and Development. Is there any other comments as it relates to this item from council members? We already had some discussion. Thank you. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it unanimously. Item 22-18-55 is approved.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Wish you the best. Madam Mayor, that's all that we have under Planning and Development.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on to Parks and Recreation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no items tonight under Parks and Recreation.
Thank you, Coach. We'll move on to Finance Committee. That's also chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have two items tonight. Item A is item 24-18-14. Adopt a resolution directing the city clerk to call for a special election on November 6, 2018 for a referendum on the issue of authorizing the city of Douglasville's governing authority to create tax allocation districts. Make a motion to approve item 24-18-14.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 24-18-14 to have the city clerk add a special election for November 6th for a TAD in the city of Douglasville. Any other, is there comments from the council members?
So then this would, if approved by the council, we would then have two referendum on the November special election ballot.
That is correct.
And do you have to go to, you don't have to go to two places because we're not having a city election. I used to have to go across the street and go to.
What would work for about 20% of the people in the city of Douglasville? Their city voting location is different than their county voting location, so they would have to go to two separate locations. And for the rest of us who have the same voting location, they would still probably have to stand in two different lines.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with if they do early voting.
So you have to have, be determined if you want to vote on the TAD and the branch bill.
It's not an ideal situation. We do have a citywide election next year when the county isn't having an election, and it would be more convenient. But we really want to get started on our redevelopment plans in the city as soon as we can.
So we have to make sure that the citizens understand that. They have to go to two places. Okay. Any other comments as it relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 24-18-14, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. That was hearty. Excited. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're
Next
welcome.
item B, 24-18-15, adopt an ordinance approving the city of Douglasville consolidated operating capital enterprise and special revenue fund budget for fiscal year 2018-2019. Our finance director, Ms. Karen Callan, says that will make it easier so that we don't have so many funds to review individually on a yearly basis. I make a motion that we approve item 24-18-15.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-18-15, consolidating operating capital enterprise and special revenue funds for fiscal year 2018 and 2019. Any other comments as it relates to this item? Thank you. All those in favor of approving the item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 24-18-15 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have tonight under finance.
Thank you so much, Mr. Finance Chair. We'll move on to Information and Technology. The Vice Chair is Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel.
No items tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Maintenance and Sanitation Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Miller M.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Transportation Committee, that's vice chaired by Councilmember Michael Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Okay. Moving right along, item 15, Personnel and Organization Committee, that's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business tonight.
Thank you, sir. Ordinance and Intergovernmental Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Michael Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under that committee as well.
Thank you, sir. Education and Training Committee, Councilman Sam Davis.
Madam Mayor, we have no business tonight, but I just want to let all the council members know to be on time this coming weekend at the conference for your education and training. Thank you.
We're going to be on time. You're talking about in GMA in Savannah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. We'll move on to Communications Committee. That's also chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No businesses at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to other business. Is there any other business that council members would like to bring up at this time? Thank you. You don't want to say anything about Juneteenth? It was hot.
Yes, ma'am. I was signing my life away. This was a great weekend for the Melvin Johnson banquet. Our hostess for that banquet was our dynamic Marsha Hampton, and everyone, it was a great attended event. The food was good and everything good. Then Saturday was a long day, but everything turned out fine. It did not rain. It mumbled and thumbled for. So thank you.
I think I lost 3 pounds out there on Saturday. It was really hot, brother. All right, thank you so much for that report, Councilman Davis. Any other comments from council members? I will say, I don't know if they're coming up from comments from citizens and delegates, but we do have our former Human Resource Director, Mr. Fred Perry, in the audience, and Mr. Block. They are members of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Tri Mu chapter here in Douglas County. They do great work. They help me with Keep Douglasville Beautiful. They've adopted Fairburn Road, and they're out there picking up paper from Bankhead Highway all the way to the top of the hill to I-20. And so we appreciate them doing that in conjunction with helping the chief with Youth Against Violence. So if you all don't say anything, but when we come to comments from citizens and delegates, please come up and say hello, if you don't mind. I just want to recognize you. Okay, we'll move on. City Attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Mr.
Thank you so much, sir. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my chief. You here. You were out hitting the beat last week, walking on Warren Drive with the sheriff. You have anything to talk? You want to tell us about that? Tell us about that, sir.
Yes, we was doing our empowerment, the Douglasville Police Enrichment Empowerment Program that we started maybe 3 or 4 months ago. We will be continuing that this Saturday, the 23rd. We have a health fair. So everybody come out to the health fair at 8304 Hollis Street. That's at our community house. So we have Wellstar Douglas out there, and we'll be cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, and so we have some food, some fun, some music, and there's some more vendors going to be there. So it just started 1 o'clock from 1 to 5. So come out and get checked. And again, this is part of our outreach program by the police department, the one with the community. So Fred, see you out there, bro.
Thank you, Chief. Of course, we will be in Savannah. Now I'm going to get you about the calendar. Can kick you in the shins, Chief. No, we appreciate
Do
that.
better about that.
I know. So we'll have to make sure that we try to coordinate our calendars so that we'll have an opportunity to attend. You don't have hot dogs and you're doing health screening. You need to have some salad or something.
Oh, and we're gonna have those non-cholesterol dogs.
Oh, okay. I understand. Getting protein. Thank you so much, Chief. Yes, sir. So we'll move on to our city manager, Ms. Marsha Hampton.
If you're gonna have all beef and tofu dogs?
That's what we're gonna have.
That's what we're gonna have.
Right
All right. The only thing I have, Mayor, is that our maintenance and sanitation director will make a report to you all under staff reports.
Okay. Very good. Now, it's comments from citizens and delegates. Now's the opportunity. If you'd like to address myself and the council, please come forward and give your name and address for the record, and we'd be happy to hear from you. Mr. Fred P., Brother Block.
Mayor and council, good evening.
Good evening.
It's always good to be back. City manager, to the chief, and to all my former colleagues, good evening.
Good evening.
We are here, myself, I'm Frederick
give us-
Perry, and my address is 2443 Main Way, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135.
Yes, sir. Mr. Block, you want to talk?
Hi.
Good to see
My
you.
name is Tim Block. I'm actually the president or the boss list of the Tri-Mu chapter. And I don't live in Douglasville, but I live close. I live at 2626 Adams Park Lane in Powder Springs, Georgia.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor and council, we just wanted to come and publicly thank you all for allowing us to hold our first annual golf tournament at West Pines Golf Resort. It was held on Friday, April 27th.
Yes, sir.
We had a wonderful, magnificent time on the golf course. This was our first one, and we're planning to have that as an annual event. As you know, those who are golfers, about 144 golfers, really is the maximum for a golf course. For our first go-around, we had, I think it was 112, so it was very, very well attended.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of good feedback from the golfers. We had a lot of good golfers that are avid golfers, so to get good feedback from them was very positive. Some changes that we'll make for next year, but Lord willing, we'll be back at West Pines. God held the rain off. It rained the whole week and stopped late Thursday night, and all day Friday we were able to go without any problems. So just wanted to thank Chris Cartwright and his staff over at West Pines. Chris worked with us from start to finish, kind of walked us through the process, gave us his feedback on the things that we were trying to implement, and everything went off without a hitch. So wanted to come and thank you and thank the council and publicly thank Chris Cartwright and his staff again. I want to give my president a chance to speak, please.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, I just want to personally thank you, Madam Mayor. You came out and it was the talk of the golf tournament.
Oh, gosh.
We had a lot of fraternity brothers that came from other chapters that have put on tournaments before, and they were very impressed with the fact that you came out and gave opening remarks. So we really, really appreciate your support, and we're looking forward to doing it again next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. You all do such great things in the community. Really appreciate that. And your golf tournament was to raise scholarship money, to continue to give scholarships. And we know that you give a scholarship to a deserving senior at each high school in your service area. And so the 5 high schools in Douglas County, you give scholarships every year, so we appreciate that, and I hope that that golf tournament was able to put some more money in that purple and old gold pot to help dispense those scholarships to deserving seniors.
Yes, and Madam Mayor gave a fiery prayer before the golf tournament, and they actually passed the offering plate. They thought service was in store. So again, we just thank you. We had a really good time, so we wanted to make sure that we came and said thank you to everyone. And to Chief, we appreciate you partnering with us as well, and we will see you out on Hollis Street. All right.
Very good. Thank you all so much. Thanks for coming. We appreciate people that come back and say thank you. That's good home training right there. Okay, we open the floor. Continuing, if there are any comments from citizens and delegates, the floor is open and you're welcome to come to the podium now and give your name and address for the record. We'd love to hear from you.
Madam Mayor, I have one friend,
Yes, sir.
Dr. Bowler, sent tonight and come down and let the world know about your fitness center, that you get
Okay.
ready to have your grand opening here in our great city, new business.
Very good.
Guys, for allowing me to speak today. My name is Donald DJ Williams, co-owner of Fit to Elite Performance. It will be a new facility, a new fitness facility in Douglasville the end of July, at the latest, the early August, contingent upon construction. This is my co-owner partner, Mrs. Robin Top. I have a background in strength and conditioning. I was an athlete 11 years, performance coach, sports-specific coach, also a fitness instructor and personal trainer. And I just feel the need that Douglasville we're given that you guys got a lot of talent in these high schools, but I've also been to a lot of gyms around here where they don't cater to the youth as far as like memberships. So what we're trying to do is implement, again, the name of the facility is Fit to Elite Performance. We're trying to infiltrate a facility that enables the youth from 7 to 18 before leaving high school to come in and get quality training to enhance sports-specific areas. Yes, we will have a plethora of adult classes going on. It'll be just like a regular gym, but also catering to the youth. The gym will be equipped with sports performance training equipment like no other gym around here has, and I designed that specifically for the youth. So not that I don't want people to think that this is a normal gym. This gym will be catering to the youth of the city of Douglasville. I'm a former fitness director for Orange Theory Fitness. I actually opened the Orange Theory Fitness here in Douglasville area, and I saw the need for this when I was allowed to go over to Douglasville High School and help with their strength and conditioning program. So again, I appreciate you guys for giving me this opportunity to stand in front of you to speak today. But again, Fit to Elite Performance, the end of July at the latest, early August.
Where is it located?
Okay.
Address? Where is it?
Address 1292 John Belt Drive, Suite 201.
Thank you. I was going to ask you that question, so.
Sorry about that. I
That's okay.
Got excited.
You were excited to tell us about that. I know. Well, Mike, I will say to you, it's a great model for business. My cousin has opened up a business in Ohio, and he does the same thing with students. His sons play football, and it's really has caught on. It's just grown, and it's doing really, really well. And so it really helps a lot of those students. And in the 2 years that he's had it, a lot of students have gotten students have gotten scholarships, because outside of, like my son was a swimmer, not just what you do with the coach, but in your time, if your parents don't happen to be fitness enthusiasts, and they can take them to a gym. So I think it's a great niche and a great
Exactly, and it's
model
affordable
for him.
training.
Hey,
I know a lot of personal trainers get expensive when you go to the sport-specific realm of training, opposed to other areas in fitness. So it's definitely going to be affordable training. So there it is.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Mr.
guys.
Williams. You have to try to embarrass us and come up here trying to,
I tried to shrink down a little bit, but thank you guys.
Get represented by your company. Thank you so much. Any other comments from citizens and delegates? Thank you. Not seeing any. We'll move on to staff reports. Are there any staff reports? Mr. Gregg, it's looking good over there, sir. Please give us your name and address for the record.
Greg Roberts, Director of Maintenance and Sanitation Department, 8578 Club Drive. Sanitation at DouglasvilleGA.gov is the best way to get us. I about put .com on there. So, the weather's been what it's been lately, a lot of rain, a lot of hot. I like the hot. I could do with less rain. And so the paving contractor, Jackson Paving, on the SPLOST program, so he's anticipating being able to start on Rose Avenue this Thursday. So he would start on Thursday, work Friday. I'm not thinking he'll work Saturday, but I'll talk to him about that, but probably not. And then he will be working again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. He's also pulling the main street coming in. I believe that's Fairways Drive coming out of the Fairways subdivision. So we'll pull that out of the cul-de-sac to Rose Avenue. And so this should be a 5 to 6 working day schedule. And so just wanted to update you on that. And I'll try to update the website tomorrow along with Jason Post and his group. And once Mr. Jackson or Mr. Huffstetler clarifies that it's looking like he can be there on Thursday. Just wanted to get that on the city TV and in your minds, and we'll put out some reader boards on each end to warn folks to take another route for a day or two. It will be slow through there, and so if you have any questions, I can hopefully
Yes, sir,
answer
Mr.
those.
Roberts. So you're going to have adequate signage so that they don't come right up on it and see, and see that there's some construction or resurfacing being done?
I will make sure that there's the reader boards on each end of the road.
Okay.
And there had been some discussion, not amongst myself with you guys, but myself and the contractor, and we are going to go on up to the part of Rose Avenue that goes to the Highway 5 apron.
Okay.
That's about 8 years old, 9 years old. It does have some crack wears, and so we're just going to go on ahead and mill some of that off so it's one clean pull all the way. And one reason for that is, and I will coordinate with GDOT for their efforts, but they're in the process of paving Highway 5 as well. And so I'm not sure what their schedule is on the north end, on the two-lane part, but we will work with them and make sure that we're working together.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts. We appreciate you giving us that report, and it's to the citizens' credit because they, in 2015, passed the SPLOST Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax to help with some of these transportation concerns, so resurfacing monies. So thank you very much.
Yes, and on that note, not to belabor the point, but thank you to the residents, to which all of us are, including me. The SPLOST came at the right time to get a lot of work done. I don't know how we would have gotten it done without the citizens and the SPLOST. That's just a fact of the matter.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts. Any other staff reports? I don't see any. And I forgot to, I was asking for comments from council members, and I forgot to give mine. I have two announcements. One is I've chosen my grand marshal, and she has accepted. It was kind of tough to get her because she's on the road, but the three-time Olympian, Alana Myers-Taylor, is my grand marshal for the 4th of July parade. So I know, I'm excited about that. So she is going to come in town to be the grand marshal that day. And then we have a collaboration with the counties Keep Douglas County Beautiful and Keep Douglasville Beautiful, the Great American Cleanup Day in America all over the country on July 27th, which is a Saturday. People will be cleaning up in the country as part of the litter program. And so the mall has been so gracious enough, Mr. Ted Martin, the general manager of Arbor Place Mall, to allow us to come in and clean up Arbor Place Mall parking lot from 8 to 10 that morning, that Saturday morning before they open. And I sent, Ms. Katrina, I believe, sent council members that he won a facade grant for $60,000 to clean up parts of the mall. And so hopefully those pictures have gotten to the council members. So we appreciate his partnership in the community to upgrade Arbor Place Mall. And so we look forward to doing that Great American Cleanup with Keep Douglasville Beautiful, Keep Douglas County Beautiful, and we already have a volunteer group from the Boy Scouts from the Mormon Church that they're going to help as well. So we will definitely put that information out there and try to get some more volunteers to help us clean up the mall parking lot. Okay. Any other staff reports? If not, then we have, I open the floor to adjourn into executive session to discuss a personnel matter. Open the floor for that motion.
Make a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss a personnel matter.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to adjourn into executive session to discuss a personnel matter. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned into executive session, but we'll take a 5-minute recess before we come back.